This weekend, the Houston Astros have shown they are here to compete and contend in 2015. A.J. Hinch's mix of strong starting pitching, youthful talent, veteran leadership, and a solid bullpen make them another tough team to beat in an already competitive AL West. The Athletics haven't been their best this weekend, and the 20 games in 21 days have showed some signs of fatigue. But Bob Melvin and the boys would love to salvage a game in this series before an off day tomorrow. A's and Astros coming up next. Beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball at the HOU Coliseum, and the pitching matchup today, Asher Wojciechowski. He's a young right-hander, and he will be opposed by Drew Pomeranz, and the A's trying to avoid being swept by the first-place Astros. It's the Astros and the Athletics' third and final game of the series coming up here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Eric Chavez, I'm Glenn Kuiper, and, well, for the Athletics, they've lost 4 to 5. They're struggling, but one of the good notes is that Josh Reddick is starting to swing the bat, Eric. He's 11 for his last 22. He's driving the ball the other way, and when you see that, you start to realize how good Josh Reddick can be as a hitter. We're starting to see it a little bit. Yeah,
it's been a couple years since we've really seen Josh Reddick be productive, and he comes into the series swinging a very hot bat. You see him get that big double on Friday night against Luke Gregerson, one of the Astros' key members of their bullpen, and he looks really, really comfortable right now. That oblique injury looks to be behind him. The wrist injury looks to be completely healed. And when you see him driving the ball the other way, you know good things are in store.
And then Reddick hitting in the 6th spot this afternoon. Now, for the Houston Astros, they're starting to score some runs. They've scored 14 runs in this series. And we're seeing a young man who has a chance to be a star in George Springer. Remember the first couple at-bats in this series? He didn't look good, but, boy, since then, you can see the swing. It's a power swing, and he can go the other way as well.
Yes, he's a big, strong, athletic kid. Had a big year last year. Had an injury that he was dealing with. Maybe pressing a little bit early in the year, but had a big double the other way, and then an impressive opposite field, right field home run.
Yeah, he is a building block for this Houston Astros team. They hope he's going to be a star into the future. So Pomeranz and Wojciechowski is your pitching matchup as the A's indeed try to salvage the final game of the series, and they'll do it in front of a whole bunch of youngsters. It's Scout Day at the HOU Coliseum. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code SLIDER for free entry.
Little League Day at the ballpark. The Little Leaguers head out with the Big Leaguers and listen in to a little pep talk.
Owen? How you doing? With a crossroads. You want to hear the cool story? Want to hear the cool story? How old are you?
I'm 10.
10. When I was 11, I got to run on the field with some Major League Baseball players, and guess what? Here I am playing. So maybe one day you can too, all right? Let's go back here with these really nice.
Well, that is why we love Stephen Vogt,
yes,
right there.
Priceless.
Forget about the batting average of .364. Stephen Vogt is an all-around awesome guy. That was fun. Here's a Game Time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Admissions free. Visit online for park hours at beachboardwalk.com. And it's a beautiful, sunshiny day all around the Bay Area. 63 degrees, a light breeze, and not a cloud in the sky. So some of the rain earlier this weekend is gone. It was cool weather yesterday. Today, it's a nice spring day as we're set for baseball. Jose Altuve steps in against Drew Pomeranz, and we are underway on time. First pitch of the ball game is a curveball in first strike. 107 first pitch. Give you the rest of the Astros lineup in just a moment.
Yeah, Drew's starting off Altuve with a curveball right there, making a little bit of an adjustment.
How often do you see that? A first pitch of the game, curveball. Not very often. Altuve, 315, a couple home runs, 11 RBIs. Good series, 4 for 9. He always seems to have a series against the Athletics. He shoots this one fair past the diving Ike Davis. Altuve hustling to first, stops there, and it's a leadoff single for Altuve. So let's look at the lineup for the Astros today. You saw Altuve. He'll be followed by Springer, then Lowry, Gaddis, Carter, Rasmus, Gonzalez, Castro, and Marisnik.
Got Drew Pomeranz, a 6'5", 240-pound lefty. On the year, he's 1-2 with a 4.24. Good sign. He's got 17 strikeouts and only 2 base on balls.
Springer swinging and a miss on a fastball. So Springer hitting in the second spot today. .200 with a couple of home runs, but 4 for 11 with a home run in this series. Another swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. So the hitting streak rolls on, and he now sits alone. Longest hit streak by an opponent in Oakland A's history. Jose Altuve, 29 consecutive games he has hit safely against the Athletics. So that's a record against the Oakland A's. Altuve seems to be at first base. 3 pitches. Springer strikes out, so 3 fastballs.
Just kind of stays on a off-speed pitch and pokes it into right field. He's been finding all the holes this series, and very impressive, very aggressive. Racking up the hits.
Yeah, it was about a foot off the plate. That doesn't seem to bother Jose Altuve at all. So with 1 away, here's Lowry, the switch hitter. Lowry, 296, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. From the right side this year, Lowry has 9 hits and 17 at bats, and all 3 of his home runs are from the right side. So very early splits, but good start as a right-handed hitter for Lowry. He's got 3 hits in the series and a couple of RBIs.
Looking for Drew to mix up his pitches a little bit better. Last week in Anaheim, he kind of fell into a pattern where he's throwing all the righties in, and the Angels ended up making an adjustment on him and started looking in. So let's see if he opens it up a little.
Altuve. Really short lead for him. Bounce towards Sogard. Ranges to his left. Out at second. Back to first. Not quite in time. But a very nice play by Eric Sogard. He had a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
So Lowry aboard on the fielder's choice.
Batting in the fourth position,
The A's defense.
designated hitter.
Gentry gets a start in left field today. Then Fold in center. Reddick in right. Lowry back in there. Simeon, Sogard, and Davis with Vogt the catcher. So 2 outs now, and Lowry the runner at first for Evan Gattis. First pitch to Gattis, foul back. Exmo is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino.
It's a very nice play by Eric here. He shaded up the middle, and balls hit to his right side. Been a nice glove stop. Turned around, fired a strike to Simeon. Almost turned into the double play, with Lowry just beating it out a little bit. Very good play.
0-1 pitch, just a touch outside. One and one to Gattis. 8 hits, 59 at bats for Gattis. You see how Altuve, when sliding, Eric, he puts his arm out.
Yeah.
To show that he can touch second base, and really, I think all he's doing that for is to show the umpire, hey,
that's it.
You can't call me out.
Yep. You got to show that you can at least touch the base, and he was able to do that. And that's what makes
quite a ways away.
But that's what makes that slide clean. If you start venturing off too far,
and you will see players do that, and if the umpire thinks you cannot reach first base with your hand, or second base with your hand, well, then they could call it an automatic double play.
Right.
So why not just say, hey, look, I'm good. My hand is touching the bag. So, and I think umpires probably appreciate that because it eliminates any decision for them.
Right. Just a very good slide right there by Altuve. Did it the right way.
2-2 to Gattis. Another foul ball right side.
You know, Sogard, watching him play on a everyday basis just really starts to grow on you.
Yeah, he's a very good second baseman.
Just gives you good at bats and makes all the plays at second.
Defense straight away for Gattis. He's got power to all fields. Checks his swing there. The ball rolls behind Vogt. Scrambles after it.
You know, Drew, speaking about Barry Zito's curveball yesterday, he's a guy I'd like to see his curveball start a little higher in the zone because he's got some pretty good depth to his curveball, 12-6 curveball, and sometimes it's too good where hitters can pick it up and lay off of it just like that. But if he could throw it for a strike, I think he would benefit him.
3-2 pitch. Pomeranz grabs it, straightens up, throws to first in time. Side retired. Runner left for the Astros. Bottom of the first coming up. Fold's going to lead it off against Asher Wojciechowski. Athletics in the bottom of the first. Their lineup has Fold in the leadoff spot, Simeon second, Fold third. Billy Butler will clean up, and then Davis, Reddick, Laurie, Sogard, and Gentry. There's your Oakland A's starting lineup.
26-year-old right-hander Asher Wojciechowski making his third start. He's got a fastball cutter in the low 90s, a changeup, and a strikeout pitch is a slider. In each of his 3 starts, he's only gone 4 innings, so he's looking to give the Astros a little bit more than that.
And 4 of those innings were against the A's last week, and he was fairly impressive.
He's got a good arm.
Yep. Asher Wojciechowski facing Sam Fold. Fold right at 290. This one chopped over the mound, but Lowry's there right near second base. Fold is retired, 1 out. Astros defense this afternoon under bright sunshine skies. Rasmussen left, Marisnik in center, Springer's in right, and then Gonzalez, Lowry, Altuve, and Carter on the infield with Castro doing the catch. Beautiful day. A's come in with a record of 8-11. And they lost 3 in a row and 4-5. Astros, on the other hand, are 10-7. And the Astros are playing very good baseball. They have won 6 out of 7.
And they've never swept the Athletics in the history. So let's try to prevent that from happening today.
The Astros have to be thrilled with their start. The 2-1 pitch is popped up. A long run for Carter, and it will be into the seats. A.J. Hinch, first year as the Astros manager. So he likes what he sees. The team's getting very good pitching. And he's just waiting for that offense. And the offense has been pretty good in this series, the Astros. 2-2 pitch, broken bat, grounder to short. Lowry on the move, and that's the second out. Still early action for Jed Lowry at shortstop. Speaking of good pitching, Keiko on Friday, he was close to getting a W. He ended up throwing 9 innings, gave up just 2 hits.
He was outstanding.
But you look at, talk about the Astros pitching. I mean, Keuchel is 2-0. His ERA is 0.62. Colin McHugh, who beat the A's last week, 2.41.
Yep.
Those 2 guys are the leaders of that rotation.
Definitely a good 1-2 punch.
Wojciechowski's first pitch to Vogt is a strike.
This is what you're going to see from Asher. He's going to move the ball in and out. He's going to try to stay away from the middle of the plate, mixing that changeup and the slider.
Quick 0-2. So a curveball in the outside corner for a strike. Fastball on the inside corner.
The previous pitch was a fastball to Simeon in on the hands and went right back to it to Vogt.
That one in on Vogt, and he checks his swing, fouls it right back past Billy Butler in the on-deck circle. Butler, he was paying attention, and that's a good thing. He's wearing the good-looking gold tops today. Astros with the orange tops. And a good curveball. Vogt swings and misses, so a good first inning for Asher Wojciechowski. No score after 1.
streaming sports service is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game, live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Second inning, Chris Carter steps in against Drew Pomeranz. Carter, Rasmus, and Marwin Gonzalez in the first pitch. Fastball, swinging strike. So Pomeranz has got some swings and misses on fastballs. I gotta believe that's always nice for a pitcher.
Yeah, good sign.
Feel good.
Good sign. What I was talking about earlier about him falling into patterns is when you're getting guys out, which he was with the Angels early, he kind of tried to come back to that again the very next time through the lineup, and they made the adjustment. So as a pitcher, you're just trying to give a hitter a different look and keep him guessing, because when you go through an at bat, he pitches a sequence to you. You kind of put that in the back of your mind. Well, this is what he did to me early. This is how he got me out, and that's how you try to make adjustments. So it's a cat and mouse game.
But I could see that being hard for a pitcher, though, if he rolls through the lineup for the first time, stuff's working, getting people out, and then you ask him, hey, okay, let's change things up a little bit. It's like, well, wait a minute, I just rolled through their lineup the first time,
yeah,
no problem.
But that's what separates the really good pitchers from the average pitchers, is they're able to get hitters out a few different ways.
In the hole, nice play. Simeon throws in time. So 1 out. Ryan Cook is back in the big leagues. Great to see Ryan. He's a good guy and a good reliever. He just struggled in spring training, really struggled at the end of last year. But he is back. He made 5 appearances for the AAA team in Nashville, so he is back. And everybody happy to see him, and we're happy to see Cookie back. And Kendall Graveman sent to the minor leagues. So as we always like to say, when somebody gets called up, that's always good news, but that means somebody is not around anymore, and in this case it's Kendall Graveman, who quite frankly really struggled. And
yeah,
it was a bit surprising because he was so good in spring training, but you're also talking about a very young pitcher,
right?
And the A's, they like Kendall Graveman a lot. He's part of their future, but at this point he just was not pitching very well, and we saw it yesterday, Eric. It's just, I mean, he's a hard sinker ball guy. I mean, he's got a great sinker. He throws at 90-91 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But his ball just looked more straight.
Yeah, it was flat yesterday.
Starts.
Yeah, you could tell he was feeling for it yesterday, and you know, hopefully this is going to sting for a little bit for him, but hopefully he gets down there, you know, figures some things out, and you know, get some confidence, and hopefully shortly he'll be back. Yeah. He's got good stuff.
Trying to figure it out as a young player or pitcher at the big league level is very difficult.
Very difficult. Very difficult.
And maybe not fair either to a young player.
I've always said it's easier for a young player to start the year out in the minors and get some confidence and get on a roll, and then come up here and try to compete at this level. And you know, even myself, when I was called up September, I showed a lot better than when I started the season the next year. And it's just a little bit more difficult doing it that way.
3-2 now to Colby Rasmus.
You know, even the right fielder here, George Springer, he started off in the minors, and you see that with Bryant, the Cubs,
sure.
And obviously for a different reason, but it served 2 benefits.
Payoff pitch to Rasmus. He skies one to shallow right. And Reddick is under it. But back to Cook. The A's need a reinforcement down in that bullpen. It's been a struggle for them. You see the breakdown in wins and in losses.
Position, third baseman, number 9, Marwin.
Yeah, said you're without Doolittle. Gregerson's gone from last year.
They're trying to figure some things out, that's for sure.
So if you could get Cook back and have him pitching the way we know he can, that would be a huge addition.
Yeah.
So we'll see exactly how that works out. It's funny. Bullpens are something if you think about it. You almost need to redo your bullpen, not necessarily with different players, but I mean each year it's like each year bullpens have different personalities.
Yeah, they do.
You just don't know who's going to have a good year or a bad year.
And no 2 years end up being the same.
Not at all. Gonzalez swings and misses. And I guess it's no different than a lineup, but you know, a bullpen, it's 7 guys. And you'd like to have each guy with a role, but if 1 or 2 guys aren't good in the role they're in, well, then things get weird.
Yes, very much so. Need some stability is what it comes down to. That's why it's important to have that #1 ace.
No question. And then work back off your closer, in this case, too.
Yeah. Prevent you from long losing streaks, and I think Sonny Gray is definitely that guy for the A's.
Sure.
But hopefully Drew can come out and give us a good performance today.
Breaking ball 2-2.
That's what I was talking about, his curveball. The hitters aren't even offering at it. You know, I think he's starting it a little bit too low, and you know, he doesn't really throw it for a curveball. So in the scouting reports that you're going over with, you can kind of eliminate that pitch already going into the box. So the hitters, all they have to look for is that.
So it's just got such a big break.
Yeah.
To get it to
and it's sharp.
Strike, you need to start it a little higher.
Higher, yes. And like I was alluding to yesterday, even started out of the zone high and let it drop to the top of the zone.
2-2 pitch. Pretty good one there with a fastball, but Quinn Walcott said no, and it's 3-2.
So following up after that curveball, just kind of try to paint a fastball down and away, and just misses just a little bit. Good frame by Vogt. I think it was the right call.
Fastball and a good one right in on the hands of Marwin Gonzalez, and he fouls it off his foot. So he's got a guard.
Yep.
But I'm sure it just missed it.
Ooh, got top of it. Still hurts, regardless if it's covered or not. That still hurts.
Have you ever seen a foul ball like just hit the pad directly right where it's supposed to hit and it doesn't hurt at all? It never does. It always just misses the pad.
Just misses, right.
Or
always in the wrong spot.
3-2 pitch is popped up. Vogt turns around, checks it out, but it'll be into the seats.
I'll tell you what, I think the worst foul ball that I've ever seen was here when Jermaine died in the playoffs. Took that one off the shin. That was about as ugly as a foul ball that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was, yeah. If a foul ball to the lower leg causes a broken bone,
yeah,
that's a direct shot.
Not good.
Another ball past Dyke Davis down the right field line. And Gonzalez is going to try for 2. Here comes Reddick's throw. There. Tag. Not in time. So Gonzalez just got in ahead of the Simeon tag.
Yeah, it looks like a fastball away, and Marwin does a great job of just staying on it, just like Altuve. And right away, he was busted out of the box and wanted to get a double, and strong arm by Reddick, good tag by Simeon, and he just beats the throw. Just a good piece of hitting right there. Good player, very versatile, plays all over the infield.
Here's Castro. There's your high curveball.
Yeah, kind of throw off just a little bit. Marcus reaches back and almost gets him, but the good slide, keeping his feet down right into the base, is what the difference was in that play right there, and Marwin being safe with the double.
0-1 to Jason Castro, the catcher, hitting in the 8th spot. And a little bit of a risky play by Gonzalez, but I think if you're going to try to stretch it into a double, this is a good time to do it.
That's the time to do it right there, yeah.
2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah.
Get to second, and you bottom of the order up.
Go ahead and go for it.
Castro, slow start, 205. 9 hits and 44 at bats. And he swings and misses at a good Pomeranz fastball. Side retired. So a double, a runner left, bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Butler, Davis, and Reddick, no score.
Baseman, this bus for you.
By Evergood Sausage Company, get grilling. Sunday afternoon in the Bay Area, and a beautiful day. No score, bottom of the second inning. A's trying to salvage the third and final game of this series against the red-hot Astros. Butler, Davis, and Reddick against Wojciechowski, who had a 3-up, 3-down first inning. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Butler takes a strike on the outside corner. Billy Butler hitless in this series. He's 0 for 8. He's been on base one time with a walk. Overall, .329 with 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Hit in the air to right field. See Springer shading his eyes, but he's got it. So you were talking about that Pomeranz start to curve a little higher. He wasn't doing it early, but you did see it in that last inning a little bit.
Yeah, and when you're able to get that curveball over for a strike, what that does to Castro, it puts it in the back of his mind. Wow, what's he going to throw me now? Kind of guessing, looking away, paints away, comes right back at it. Now what's he going to do? Challenge me with the heater and puts him away. So you can see the importance of getting that curveball over for a strike. The hitters have to pay attention to it a little bit more and puts a little doubt in their mind.
I always thought that a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike is like the greatest thing that can happen to a pitcher.
Yes, it really, as a hitter, it really puts you behind the 8 ball and starts putting a lot of doubt in your mind, and it works the other way. If he throws that breaking ball for a ball, you know, all of a sudden, you know, the favor kind of goes into you. You know he's going to try to come back with a heater for a strike. So it's definitely a big pitch, and it's a good one. He's got a good curveball, and like I said, he's just starting it too low. He's got to start it off a little bit higher in the zone, throw it for a strike, and use it a little bit more.
So you're saying Castro sees that first pitch strike. He's probably thinking about that pitch the rest of the at bat.
Yeah, because like I said, they went over the pitching report on Pomeranz, and he's, you know, they basically eliminated his curveball, and then you go up there thinking about, I'm just going to look for a fastball. He drops in the curveball, and You know, and then he puts him away with 2 heaters, so you can see the benefit of throwing that curveball for a strike, and he has a good one. And it'll go into Castro's next at bat. You know, what's he going to start me off with this time? You know, so it has a trickle down effect, definitely.
2-2 to Ike Davis. Sharp breaking ball, but in the dirt. So Davis has worked the count full. Davis, homer, 8 RBIs. He's got 4 doubles, 19 hits total. And it's up and in, and it's a walk. So the A's have their first base runner. And here's Reddick.
Batting in the 6th position, right fielder, number 22.
Talked about Reddick in the open of our show and how he's been swinging the bat well. He's got 7 hits in his last 11 at bats.
Yeah, he just looks really healthy. You know, he's always been able to get to that inside pitch, and from what I hear, him and Bush, the hitting coach, have been working about staying close and keeping that front side closed and driving the ball the other way. And once he starts doing that, I think some good things are coming this year for him.
Shift is on. Swung to the right side on the infield, swung to the left side in the outfield. We've seen Reddick drive some balls toward left field recently, and no coincidence that's why his batting average has risen to .357.
Yeah.
15 hits and 42 at bats so far. Head near the A's bullpen, a couple rows behind it.
Yeah, you know, there's no doubt that wrist injury played a big factor for him the last couple of years, and he starts, even though he's on the field and he's playing, you know, you're not getting certain pitches that you're used to, and doubt starts creeping in, and all of a sudden you want to try to pull everything, and starting to get healthy, stay close, start driving the ball the other way, and looks really good right now. It's a good sign for the A's. They're going to need his bat the whole year.
Short lead at first for Davis. Fastball is high, 91 miles an hour.
And that fastball is obviously for show. You know, his strikeout pitch is that slider. But when he's ahead in the count, he can kind of go to any pitch he wants right now. Doesn't have to give him anything to hit.
Another fastball misses in. So the count even at 2-2.
Yeah, going back to back with heaters. Just kind of trying to move his feet a little bit and trying to open up that outside part of the plate. He's either going to go to that changeup or slider. I don't think he'll throw him 3 fastballs in a row.
And it was, and it was a good one as Reddick checked his swing. He's going with the high pants, striped socks look. It's starting to become the thing.
Anything for a W or a hit.
Or foul ball. I think that they look, I think it's kind of a cool look, and I think it looks,
I do too.
I think it almost looks even better with the gold tops.
I agree with you.
Then you get the full green, white, and gold of these colors. I like it. So good battle here. Wojciechowski and Reddick. That one's driven right center field. Nobody's going to get it. Davis is digging for third, and they're going to wave him home. Throw to the plate, late, and the A's take a 1-0 lead on an RBI triple by Reddick.
Just a beautiful piece of hitting. Went back to the changeup. We're talking about how Josh has been going the other way, staying close on that front side. Head behind the ball. It looks like Marisnick was shaded over, which allowed the ball to get all the way back to the wall. And he's busting hard from the get-go. He knows that he's got an opportunity to get to third, and once he knows there's a play at home plate, just keep on going. Puts himself in scoring position where Ike knows right away. That's your job as a runner to know where the outfielder's at, and he could tell that ball was going to be down right away, and showing us his wheels there.
So Reddick gets his 8th RBI, and another run out there for the A's with Reddick at third and 1 out.
So that's what's so big right there with Josh getting the third. You know, Brett's kind of struggling a little bit, and he doesn't have to get a hit here to be productive. All he's got to do is
ball to short,
put it on the ground, help the team score here. Nice job by Reddick getting the third.
So 1-1 the count. So Reddick in this series is now 4 for 4 with 2 walks. Lifted in the air, should be deep enough. Marisnick in center. Gets behind it. Here comes Reddick. Throw to the plate. Not nearly in time. Sails over the catcher's head. Good at bat for Laurie, and the A's lead 2-0.
Yeah, that changes everything. If Reddick stops at second, that's just an out. He's 0 for 1 with nothing positive to look to. So it's a great job by Josh getting the third, and right away he sees the ball up, goes back and tags. There was pretty much no way Marisnick was going to throw him out here, but that puts Lowry in a good mood, helping the team right there.
Day off does wonders. So here's Sogard, now 2 outs, 2 runs in. So Davis, who led off the inning with a walk, and that walk scores.
Good swing right there.
So 0-2 the count. Sogard hitting .265. He's got 4 RBIs. A couple of doubles, a triple. Sogard with that slightly open stance. Close pitch, 2-2.
Does he wear those socks every day?
Sogard wears them pretty much every day. He's the leader of the striped sock patrol. So Sogard is retired, but the A's get 2, and it all revolved around Reddick's RBI triple. Third inning coming up. A's 2, Astros nothing. So the A's get a couple in the bottom of the second. It's their first lead in the series, I believe. You don't like to say that when it's the third game of the series, but at this point the A's will take it. So 2-0. Pomeranz, a couple of runs to work with.
It's just nice to see some life early.
Yeah.
It's a good sign.
This is Marisnick.
There's that curveball again. It's a good one.
Yeah. It's got a little Zito, right?
A little bit.
Barry pitched last night for Nashville. Pitched well in 7 innings. So
it's good because I don't think he was before that.
No, he was getting knocked around
so.
a little bit. Pitching for the Nashville Sounds. Davis has it, and he dropped it, and Marisnick's aboard. He looked a little unsure on that.
Well, this is what happened. He saw that Drew got off the mound a little slow, and when he noticed that, he knew he was going to try to have to be quick. You see Drew, he kind of fell off to the third base side, and he knows Marisnick's a fast runner, and when that ball was hit up in the air, right now, he makes a commitment. Okay, I'm going to try to beat him to the bag, and just forgot to field the baseball.
So he realizes I got to hustle to the bag, and that took him out of rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if Drew would have beat Marisnick to the first base, and that's what I saw in the corner of his eye. So
there's Altuve. So the defensive struggles continue for the Athletics. Now, as A's are playing their 20th game, we've seen them make a lot of very nice plays this year. But we've also now seen him make 20 errors, which is the most in the majors.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. They need to clean that up just a little bit. Everything's all about getting into a rhythm. You know, we're talking about the bullpen and the hitting, and everything's contagious, and defense is contagious, and it's part of the reason why they've played inconsistent baseball to this point. And you know, normally 10 times out of 10, Ike makes that play easily.
Runner goes, and ball pops away from Vogt, so Marisnick has a stolen base. Astros now with 17 steals on the year as a team. They've only been thrown out twice, so 17 from 19.
Yeah, this looked like a changeup down away or fastball away. I'm not really sure, and I think he just tried to be a little bit too quick with it. Popped out of his glove.
To an 0 to Altuve. Be careful here. And that off Pomeranz looks for it, can't find it. It's behind him, and let's hope Pomeranz is okay. But you could hear the contact up here.
Let's hope that hit him on the backside, because that ball was hit pretty flush. Yeah, kind of on the upper left buttock is kind of where he's pointing to, which is a good spot to get hit in if that's the case. We got a 2-0 count and just a fastball away, and Altuve putting the barrel on it again.
This is what we heard.
Yeah.
So it looked like maybe, the left hip.
Left, yeah.
Somewhere in that area.
Yeah, he's fine. He's good to go.
On the backside. And boy, what you're fortunate there is that it didn't hit the elbow or the arm, because the elbow and the forearm are close in that area.
Right.
And he's going to walk it off a little bit.
Very lucky.
Now batting, number 4.
This is not the inning that the A's were looking for after scoring 2, you know. Hopefully he can get a ground ball here, or a pop out or strike out of Springer and try to get out of this inning, but you're pretty much going to concede that run on third at this point and trying to prevent Altuve from scoring.
So first and third, nobody out. Springer on deck is Lowry. Altuve runs. Vogt's throw to second base is not quite in time. Stolen base for Altuve.
This is just what they do. They're down 2-0, and they're still stealing bases, and they're going to live and die by being aggressive. We saw them on the Friday night's game make a couple errors on the bases and could have cost them, but that's the way AJ wants these guys to play, and they've been winning ball games doing it.
They got a good jump and going on the first pitch. Springer swings at a fastball in under the hands, and the count is 1-1. So 6 steals for Altuve. If he's healthy, he'll get his 30 to 40, maybe more. Springer fouls it straight back, and now the count is 1-2. So Pomeranz at least set up to go for the strikeout.
Let's see what pitch he elects to go to here. It's a big at bat in this inning.
Got him swinging. Stayed with a heater. 92 miles an hour, and Springer strikes out for the second time.
Yeah, that's kind of that big swing we're looking at from Springer early in the series, and
Now
2 strikes. Kind of see the pulling off a little bit, and we saw him make that adjustment yesterday where he's just trying to put that 2-strike ball into play, and just kind of got away from it a little bit right there. But Drew got away with it when he tried to come in with that, left it over the middle of the plate, and fortunate enough to have enough steam on it.
So here's Lowry. Lowry reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. .61% fastballs for Pomeranz and 35% curveballs.
Yeah, and I promise you most of those fastballs aren't on his glove side, which to a right-handed hitter's on the inside part of the plate, which for some reason I think just Drew feels comfortable throwing it to that side of the plate.
Curve is up and away, 2-0. Gaddis is the on-deck hitter. So Lowry in a hitter's count at 2-0. He lays off, and now it's 3-0.
Yeah, he's being careful here. It's not such a bad thing. Lowry's a hot hitter. You got Gaddis behind him, only hitting 136. So scary thing about that is Gaddis had a couple hits the other way early in the series. So
it's a strike there, 3-1. So 52 pitches already for Pomeranz.
Look at that guy with the hair behind Gaddis. My goodness.
I missed that. And that one just a bit high. Very close pitch, but Lowry gets to walk. And now they're loaded for Gaddis.
He's kind of walking around, I don't know if he's not very comfortable. It doesn't.
Now batting.
Maybe the hit.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just doesn't look very comfortable right now. This is a big at bat right here in this game early. And just like Keuchel the other night, he's one pitch away from getting out of this inning. If he can induce him to hit a ground ball here.
First pitch to Gaddis. Swing and a miss. Well, Gaddis, he's hit into a couple double plays this year, but he's struck out a lot. He has struck out 22 times in 60 at bats. And Pomeranz would take that here, but he's good with the bases loaded. So a lot of different ways to look at this. The bases are loaded. Defense straight away for Gaddis. And it's a shot into right field, a base hit. That's going to score 2. It's going to allow Lowry to head around second and go to third. So Gaddis going the other way gets a big hit for the Astros, and this game is tied at 2.
Well, he got the ground ball. That ball was hit really, really hard. A fastball away. And I talked about earlier, Gavis was going the other way with a couple hits to right field earlier in the series, and kind of continued that approach. And it's a good approach to have when you're struggling. A lot of hits to that right side of the field.
So now Carter hits first and third, still only one out. And Gaddis gets his second and third RBIs. It's his first run scoring hit this year that was not a home run.
You know, I'm watching Drew, and every once in a while he just starts shaking his left arm. I don't know if he's uncomfortable or.
Carter swings and misses at a fastball.
You can kind of see him just messing around with it right there.
Yeah,
it's like his shoulder looks a little tight or something.
Some pitchers do that a lot.
Yeah.
But he is not one of the guys that generally does that. Carter behind in the count now, 0-2.
Yeah, he keeps doing it. You have to keep an eye on that.
Your runners, Lowry at third.
Try to minimize the damage here. Make a big pitch.
Carter chased that high fastball, fouled it straight back. Carter trying to put it in play. Pomeranz trying to strike him out.
Yeah, I noticed him just a couple times after he had walked Lowry. He kind of walked around the mound and shook his arm, and you just wonder if something's going on.
Blocked by Vogt. And a lot of pitches now. 59 for Pomeranz, and there's one out in the third inning.
Yeah, looks like the A's bullpen's going to have to be a big part of this game today at some point.
Carter fouls it back. So Big Chris hanging in there. So 23 pitches in this inning. This would be a high stress inning.
Yeah.
Runner's going to try for second, and Gaddis will make it. Gaddis read it well and got a good jump. So it's a wild pitch, and that takes away the double play. So pretty good base running by Gaddis.
Here's that curveball again, and just not really high enough to be a competitive pitch. And we talked about earlier in this series too, when the runners see the catchers go to the knees, and they're kind of being aggressive and taking off right away. So good heads up base running by the Astros this series. But Drew just looks really uncomfortable to me. I don't know what's going on.
Well, if we see it up here, they see it in the dugout.
Yeah, definitely.
It all started with the error by Davis and what was just a routine chopper. That's what makes it a little bit frustrating. Carter pops it up. Simeon fighting that sun, and he grabs it. So Pomeranz gets a big out there.
Big out.
So 2 outs.
Now batting, number 28, Colby.
Otero is starting to stretch out a little bit. Pomeranz now to face Colby Rasmus.
That was a big out.
Yep. Rasmus base hit right field. 1 run scores. They'll hold up Gaddis. And Rasmus with a big 2-out RBI hit to give the Astros a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, they're just all over his fastball. I mean, going over the reports, they know he likes that fastball and they can be aggressive with it. And he's only thrown but a handful of curveballs for strikes, and you kind of eliminate that curveball and go up there looking for the heater, and they're not missing it. There's another loud sound off the bat of Rasmus.
So 3 hits, a walk, and that costly error in this inning, and the Astros have scored 3 times.
Now batting, number 9.
So here's Marlon Gonzalez, who's a switch hitter. He had a double in the second. Rasmus with a pretty good lead at first, and the pitch is in for a strike. Took a little off. Gonzalez making sure that those batting gloves are tight. Isn't necessary, Shoddy? Sorry, I know. It's a pet peeve of mine. Can't help it.
I kind of see you as a no batting glove guy, though.
Yeah, right. Well,
kind of like
the way I complain about guys tightening their batting gloves, I would probably have to be just to strengthen my point.
Would you throw your helmet and your bat?
Yes, I would. Popped up. The Pomeranz. Hopefully he's going to get out of this, and he does, but 3 runs for the Astros. Tough inning for Pomeranz, and the Astros now lead 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Yesterday, and he was good. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, had 6 strikeouts, threw 106 pitches. He got the win. Remember, the A's knocked him around in Houston last week pretty good, but he bounced back and he pitched very well yesterday. The Bay Area native Scott Feldman, so he was a winner yesterday. He's a T-Mobile game changer. Gave up 3 runs a bit later in the game when really the game was in hand for the Astros.
Yeah. It was 8-0 at the time.
So now the A's trailing 3-2, so their only lead in the series did not last very long.
No.
Gentry leading it off.
Well, Drew must be okay because there's nobody up moving around in the bullpen.
Gentry up and in, fouls it back, so the count 1-2. So we'll see what Wojciechowski does with a lead. be just a 1-run lead. He's walked 1, struck out 1. To Wojciechowski's credit, he doesn't mess around. He gets it, and he looks like he's ready to go.
He's coming at you, definitely.
Which means he probably has a pretty good idea what he wants to throw.
Yes. And that means he's in sync with Castro behind the plate, too.
3-2. Payoff pitch to Gentry is called a strike, and Gentry can't believe it. And Walcott rings him up, and that ball looked like it was high. But Gentry called out.
The 3-2 pitch here, and Castro sets up away, and the ball runs up on the inside part of the plate, and it did look like it caught the upper quadrant of the plate, and maybe a little high. Tough pitch.
No, that's the way it's gone for Gentry.
Yeah.
But that ball did look like it was high. So here's Fold. Second strikeout for Wojciechowski. Off speed pitch. The changeup. And good one. Fold grounded out to short in the first inning. Fold is 1 for 5 in this series. He's going to need a new piece of lumber. Walcott, the home plate umpire. Eric Cooper at first. Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, at second. And Lance Barksdale, who did a good job yesterday. In fact, we hardly mentioned his name at all, calling balls and strikes.
You know he did a good job.
So, Lance, I'm sure that you'll be glad to know that we just gave you the thumbs up on your performance yesterday.
He was very good throughout my career. Nice guy, too.
Did Fold go? Yes, he did. So Sam Fold tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Back-to-back strikeouts.
See if that was the slider down and in here to Sammy after jamming him. Comes back in. Sammy thinks it's going to be a fastball out of the zone. And just gets that barrel out there enough where Lance decided to call him out. Maybe we spoke too early about Lance. I think it was the right call.
Man, we were just praising him, and then that.
Yeah. You know, I've never had a problem with an umpire who zone was a little big and made a few bad calls, as long as he was a nice guy.
Really?
Yeah. But it was the ones that were you know,
there's a few attitudes out there.
Yeah, you'd look back there and go, well, you got that as a strike, and he'd kind of give you the crazy eyes.
So that's the kind of question a hitter asks an umpire.
Yes.
You're just basically making your point that you didn't think it was a strike.
Yes. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
And Simeon chases a pitch badly out of the strike zone, and Wojciechowski strikes out the side. So we're moving to the fourth. It's the Astros 3 and the A's 2. Drops yesterday by the A's, which is very uncommon because the A's outfielders are pretty good. Early in the game, there was not a lot of sun, but later in the game, I think Reddick, he just missed that one. But this one, I think, was sun-related. And Eric, you played here a long, long time, and you say that left field for an outfielder is the toughest sun field here.
Yeah, left field, shortstop, and third base. And it's day games. That sun is always a factor. And I was talking about yesterday, whether you got sunglasses or not, if that ball gets in the sun, you got no chance of catching it.
So right field, you're okay. Center field, you're
most of the time,
okay.
yeah, most of the time.
Would you say this ballpark, for whatever reason,
the way it's situated,
not a lot of clouds?
Yeah.
Compared to maybe ballparks on the East Coast or whatever.
Yes, it's one of the toughest in the day game for the sun. Yes. You know, each inning too in a day game, I would go out to third base and I would put my glove up in the sun and make sure, you know, where I was in the infield, and I would communicate to the shortstop, whoever it was at the time, hey, if the ball, you know, if there's a pop up here, come and help me. Or I'd even go tell the pitcher, hey, look, if there's a pop up right there in the infield, you got to come over here and help me because I can't see. So part of the communication that needs to go on. And the last inning, there was a pop up to third base with Brett, and that ball got right in the sun, and Simeon came over, had the right angle, and it's all about angles with that sun. If you can just slightly get out of the direct path of the sun, and Simeon came over, called him off, and caught the ball.
1-2 to Castro, way outside. Well, you saw Pomeranz shadow, and it's basically right underneath him. So it is it's the high sun.
It just sits up there like a David Justice used to call it the hawk that just kind of circles the Coliseum here.
Davis, no glasses. So 3-2 count now to Castro. He'll be followed by Marisnik and Altuve.
Yeah, so this is last inning. You can see Brett having trouble, and right there the ball's right in the direct path of the sun, and Simeon has that angle.
Well, Bob Melvin just got thrown out, and I'm just not that surprised by this.
No.
After last inning.
Yeah, and this is going back to Gentry's at bat.
Yeah. I mean, Gentry got called out on a questionable pitch, fold on a questionable check swing, and A's wanted that last pitch to Castro to be a strike. And at this point, Bob Melvin says, you know what, maybe I got to do something to help my team.
Absolutely.
And Bob Melvin says, I don't care about you, Gary Cederstrom. I want a piece of Quinn Walcott, the home plate umpire. I think Gary Cederstrom is just doing what he's supposed to do as the crew chief.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely went back to the last inning, the high 3-2 pitch on Gentry, and that ball looked like just to be just a little bit off. And you could tell the way Vogt got up. He thought this was a strike, and he kind of gets up and shows his disgust where he steps in front of the plate, lobs it back to Drew, and Bob let him have it.
And then it's a leadoff walk.
Yeah, this has to do with the way the A's are playing, and
sure.
Now batting, number 6.
Sticking up for his guys right there.
So leadoff walk. That's the second walk issued by Pomeranz. Here's Marisnik. Marisnik bunts toward first, and it's foul. So rolled foul right at the last second. Marisnik's very fast, so keep an eye on that. Mike Eldreddy will now take over the controls. hits, 72 pitches so far. And now he's ahead in the count 0-2. So Bob Melvin tossed out here in the top of the 4th inning.
Got the crowd riled up a little bit.
Yep, they're chanting their thoughts on the umpires. Hit well to left field. Gentry's back, and that one is gone well into the seats in left field. Jake Marisnick with a 2-run homer, and it's now 5-2 Astros.
He's off to a good start for the Astros, playing some really good defensive center field, and he's had some little right leg discomfort the last few games, and Drew kind of hung a breaking ball right there, and Marisnick just put a good swing on it and hit it over the left field wall there.
Well, it was an 0-2 pitch as well, Javi, and that makes it even more frustrating.
Right.
Good breaking ball there as Altuve takes it for a strike. So Otero up.
The 0-2 pitch is that one where you want, that's the one you want
in the dirt.
In the dirt.
Altuve has singled twice, scored a run, stole the base. And he is 6 for 11 in this series. Curveball on 0-2 there is swung at and missed, so that's the spot for the 0-2 pitch.
That's what he wanted to do. Marisnick, he just hung it. He knew what he did. You know, you drop a game plan and it doesn't always work out the way you want to, but he come back with a good 0-2 curveball to Altuve right there and strikes out one of the hottest hitters right there in the league.
Here's Springer, who has struck out twice, both times swinging against Pomeranz. First pitch close, but inside. So the Astros with 3 in the second, 2 here, or 3 in the third, 2 here in the fourth. It's turning into one of those very frustrating weekends for the A's.
Yeah.
After a 5-5 road trip. Two-0 pitch, and now it's 3-0.
This has got to be a little bit of concern for the A's right now. We got Graveman being sent down yesterday. Drew's been struggling a little bit, yet to find his groove.
And a 4-pitch walk to George Springer.
You know, you lose that depth with Jesse Chavez. Now he's in the rotation. Sure. You're not really sure what you're going to get out of Cookie. Hopefully he's on his game, but it's not looking too good right now.
Number 8,
Jesse Chavez is officially in the rotation. He will take that Graveman spot. Still waiting on Jesse Hahn, who threw a bullpen today. He's got that blister on his
let's
middle
hope that
finger.
went well.
So he threw a full bullpen today, and he's going to have to wait. See how that finger feels tomorrow. Runner goes. Throw to second base, and Springer is out for the second out. So that's 2 outs, but this was Jesse Hahn earlier. Again, it's the middle finger, and I guess that's the finger you usually get a blister on if you're a pitcher. So they will evaluate that finger tonight and tomorrow, see how it is, and if he's good to go, then they will slot him in somewhere. So right now,
well, it looked like it was a lengthy session.
Yeah, he was out there for quite a while.
He didn't have to cut it short, which is a good sign. Right now, he knows whether it's good to go, whether it reopened or what it did.
That one's hit to left field, but in the ballpark. Gentry's there, squeezes it, side retired. Jake Marisnick with the 2-run homer. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Astros 5, Athletics 2. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Prism. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Prism. Learn how at prism.com. Opening day out on the Bay today. Not a bad place to go. So Wojciechowski now with a 5-2 lead. He'll face Vogt, Butler, and Davis. 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the A's. So to stretch out that thought on the A's starting rotation, Jared Parker is going to pitch on Tuesday for Stockton. It'll be his 2nd rehab start. Parker is scheduled to throw 75 pitches. Again, that's Tuesday. Yeah, so he's headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Again, that'll be his 2nd rehab start. If things keep progressing and everything is all good with Parker, I mean, is the end of May out of the question? Maybe not.
Yeah, it's
somewhere end of May, early June. And again, I'm just
they need him
guessing. But
that's his 2nd, right? Is he coming off his 2nd?
Yes.
So
maybe they'll wait a little longer. But anyways, at some point fairly soon, we get Jared Parker back for the rotation.
That'd be good.
That would be good.
You know, Daniel Hudson, Arizona Diamondbacks, has just come back from his 2nd elbow surgery, so it can't be done. And Daniel's been throwing the ball very well. His velocity's up.
He's in the bullpen now, right?
Yeah. And I kind of heard that the A's were considering that with Parker, but can never have too much starting pitching, that's for sure. So hopefully he's healthy. We wish him luck.
The A's are finding that out. Well, everybody finding that out. You almost have to think 7, 8 starting pitchers now.
Yeah.
When you open up spring training.
Absolutely.
Off wall. Second walk for Wojciechowski. He's got 4 strikeouts, and now he'll face Butler.
I'll tell you what, that elbow surgery thing is turning into some big problem for Major League Baseball. And I don't know what they can do about it, but hopefully there's some scientific evidence that will be coming out here soon to help prevent those
Well, there's a lot of theories out there. I don't know if any of them are correct. Maybe some of it's right.
It's all a factor.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, for young kids, the year-round baseball, and
you hear that a lot.
Guys are throwing harder, and you know, the one kind of common denominator that I've seen with the elbow surgery, it's not all of them, but most of them have a devastating slider. You know, they throw it at 89, 90, 91 mile an hour slider.
Yeah.
You know, there was only one guy that used to throw that slider, was Rob Nen back in the day, that was, you know, over 90, and
now everybody
has that. So, you know, I don't know exactly what it is, but hopefully Major League Baseball can figure something out and help these pitchers out, because it's not fun when you're losing these guys to the game.
One and one the count to Butler. Right field. Springer over, and it's going to drop foul. Well, speaking of injuries to big pitchers, Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals batting a couple nights ago. He had a pop-up, just a routine pop-up. He started to run to first base and felt something pop.
Yep, the Achilles.
And in the ankle Achilles area, and that's not good.
No.
And he's going to get further examination tomorrow when the Cardinals get home, but the speculation is that it was an Achilles injury, and that's not good.
Yeah, and kind of like what we were talking about earlier, the DH is coming to both leagues.
Yeah, boy,
that's coming soon.
I think it's the thought is certainly out there more now than it was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, and I think the offense being down plays a factor into that too, but
it's be interesting how that happens, and you have a labor agreement that's coming to an end. You wonder if that all plays.
That's a chip, definitely.
Yeah, Adam Wainwright, one of the best pitchers in the National League, is probably lost for the year for the Cardinals. Butler lines it to third. So Butler with a good at bat, but he gets nothing for it, and that's one out.
Yeah, Billy putting a good swing on this fastball, kind of runs back over the middle of the plate, and luckily for Asher, he kind of had some topspin on it, because if he would have had backspin, I think that ball would have been in the seats. So good swing by Billy. A couple days ago, that would have found a hole for Billy.
Sure.
Just the way the game goes sometimes.
So Davis hits with one out. Davis walked and scored in the second inning.
See if we can get Ike to start driving the ball here in the next few weeks. He's gotten his hits.
Drives that one to right center field and try to cut it off as Springer. He kicks it toward Marisnik, and they're going to hold up the runner at third. That's Vogt. So Davis lines that one toward right center.
Well, they got the right guy up now in Reddick, and this was a good swing by Ike. A fastball kind of middle in and puts a good swing in it, doesn't miss it. Kind of like I was talking about earlier, we need to see him start driving the ball a little bit more. He's been getting his hits, and Springer laying out right there kind of might have saved him a run. You know, that ball hits the wall, who knows where it goes, and Vogt, as always, giving a 100% effort, going as fast as he can. And the A's got second and third, got something going, and the right man up right now.
So a double for Davis, fifth of the season. Yeah, I agree with you on the Springer play.
Yeah, good play.
His angle may not have been great, but I think once he realized that this ball is going to go by me, he sort of dove for it, and really I think he did save a run. Well, that ball goes to the wall, Vogt scores.
Yeah, the angle may not have been perfect, but Ike hit that ball so hard it didn't look like You know, and it must have just hit the grass and took off.
So 0-1 to Reddick. Hot hitter. Good swing there. But this ball was past him, and then he just kind of swiped at it, and he did.
And it went right to the center fielder too, you know. But you know, that's the type of play that A.J. Hinch likes to see out of his players. And to be honest with you, it's fun to watch. They're playing hard. They're running hard to first. Stealing bases. They're getting thrown out a few times, but it's an aggressive style of baseball, and they've been successful.
0-2 pitch popped up, and Reddick fires his bat down, and Gonzalez stays with it. So a big out there. Reddick cannot get it done. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Laurie. It was an 0-2 breaking ball. It looks like a pretty good curve.
Yeah, he did. He threw one earlier in the at-bat. He came back. Good location in off the plate. Josh upset with himself right there. Kind of throws his bat down, but definitely wanted to get that run in for the team. And Asher just made some pretty good pitches right there.
Laurie with a sacrifice fly in the second inning, picking up his 5th RBI. Needs a big hit here.
He does. You're right.
Well, I think he needs it for the A's, and he needs it for himself as well.
Yeah, and this at bat too is a little bit better. Like I said, when Josh went to third on that ball and he got the RBI, he's got some positive vibes working right now, and this at bat would have been a lot different if that didn't happen.
Missed again, and now it's 2-0. Outfield swung around toward right center a little bit and shallow.
You know, with all that movement that Brett has at the plate, he's gonna run into some hot streaks and some cold streaks, and I think he's just looking to be a little bit more consistent at the plate right now.
Fastball at 2-0.
See, 2-0, yeah, that's the one you want right there. You know, an aggressive hitter. Wojciechowski's got a good fastball. You know he's coming right at you, and that long stride.
And it was just past him a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit too much movement for Brett. Just tone it down just a little bit.
Curveball, left center field, and that's a base hit, and 2 runs are going to score. So a big hit for Laurie. He reached out and poked a breaking ball in the center field.
Big hit for Brett right there. I think Asher came back with a 2-1 slider. Yeah, and it was. And Brett, not trying to do too much with it, picks it out of his hands early. Sticks it out there to left center and brings in 2 big runs for the A's. They're right back in this game now. Big hit for Brett.
So a 3 RBI game for Laurie, and here's Sogard.
And I tell you what, I promise you that bat goes to the last inning where Reddick went to third for him and he got the RBI.
First pitch to Sogard is inside.
Yeah, and this is after him swinging and missing at that fastball. Asher kind of helped him out a little bit and sped up his bat with that slider and got enough of the plate where Brett was able to poke it into left field for 2 RBIs.
So this inning started with a walk. Sogard a shot off the glove of Carter into shallow right field. Laurie will easily make it to third, and the inning continues. Carter playing in, holding the runner. Made a dive for it. He got a glove on it.
Yeah, it's an inside fastball. He set up away. He missed with his location there pretty badly. Eric's been getting to that inside pitch pretty much the whole year. We're talking about how quiet his head is and consistent pass to the baseball. And fortunately, snuck one by Big Chris there at first.
So 3 hits in the inning. So now Gentry will try to tie up this game.
definitely. This game's definitely going to come down to the battle of the bullpens here. And nice sign to see the A's battle back and get back into this one.
And Deduno, the long man, is going to start getting loose. Gentry, base hit left field, and we're tied. So Gentry goes after the first pitch, lines a single to left, and it's 5-5.
Well, been talking about momentum pretty much this whole series. And the A's are putting together some good at-bats, and it's trickling down the lineup, and Gentry gets a first pitch fastball that he doesn't miss for a single and an RBI, and A's got something going right now. And they know, everybody on the bench knows this is a big game for them. They want to go into this off day tomorrow feeling pretty good.
So here's the 8th man to bat in the inning. It's Fold. And Fold takes inside. New life for Drew Pomeranz.
Yeah.
Shallow center, and it's going to be Lowry who makes the catch. Side retired. Big inning for the A's. They score 3 times on 4 hits and a walk. So as we head to the 5th, we are all tied at 5. Three in the bottom of the 4th, so we got a 5-5 game, top 5. And Drew Pomeranz back out there. So it's really simple here.
Yep.
3 up, 3 down innings, and
1, 2, 3.
Hold on to momentum.
Absolutely. Big inning for Drew too. Need some confidence right here with a 1, 2, 3 inning.
It's always tough to kind of pinpoint momentum in sports, but I think it's a little more obvious in sports like football and basketball, maybe a little more subtle in baseball, but I think there is such a thing. If you score 3, get back in the dugout quickly.
100%.
I think there is momentum in baseball.
And that's kind of what Drew failed to do the first time around when they went up 2-0 early.
Gaddis had a 2-run single in the 3rd, so he's 1 for 2. Swings and misses at the fastball. Carter to follow, and then Erasmus.
Yeah, Drew likes that fastball in on the righties I was talking about earlier, and he gets that first pitch curveball over to a strike to Gaddis right there, and kind of changes the whole at bat for him.
And misses outside to run the count full, 3-2. Popped it up. Vogt coming back, and he'll run out of room. So pitch number 90 coming up for Pomeranz. The A's bullpen was up last inning. And
looks like Deduno's definitely coming in.
Yeah, it won't take much for the A's bullpen to get back up. That is a shot foul. So every inning has been a battle for Pomeranz. The first hitter of the game got a base hit.
Yeah, and Drew's got 2+ pitches. He's got that fastball and a big curveball, and I think at some point he's either got to get some confidence in that changeup.
See, Fernando Abad now is getting up. Gaddis may have swung at ball 4. Who's that guy catching? How's his form?
You know, I think last year or the year before, I think somebody had to throw the ball back to the pitcher because he had
a bad shoulder,
yeah,
right?
No, Casey's done a good job. He works hard.
Yes, he does. Gaddis skies one to right. Reddick trots in a little bit. And so Pomeranz gets Gaddis for the first down. Hey, it's the 9th season of the CSN All-Star Teacher Program, recognizing teachers that make a difference. Visit csncalifornia.com and vote. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Back to school tomorrow. Weekend comes to an end. The A's will have an off day tomorrow. Their second off day of the year. So there's some teams that have 3 or 4 off days already, but not the case with the A's.
That means they got some coming up.
That's
though.
right. 1-1 to Carter, who is grounded to short and popped to short.
Definitely think at times during the year, an off day, depending on how you're going, could be good or bad, and they can get this win today. I think that off day tomorrow would be a real good sign for them and kind of regroup coming back after that.
Got the Angels coming in for 3 and then back out on the road for a 10-game road trip for the A's. A's will go to Texas, Minnesota, and Seattle starting on Friday. Mike Davis may have a play. And he dives, and he caught it. Mike Davis hanging in there on a tough play.
Yep. Sun definitely being a factor again, a little bit of the wind. Drew throws that high fastball to Chris, and Mike starts heading over, keeps his eye on it the whole way, and the wind starts taking it right there. Ike lays out for a nice play right there. And did he maintain possession through the catch? Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was able to roll over. Yeah, now in football, that still may not have been a catch. I don't know.
Yeah, and you can see he's got the flip downs right there, too. And I guess that the wind must have been more of a factor than the sun actually was. But very nice play by Ike.
And Drew Pomeranz says, thank you very much. A 3-up, 3-down inning, and the bottom of the 5th is coming up. We're tied at 5. Back to yesterday. Max Muncy just got called up, had an hour of sleep, didn't matter. He got his first major league hit in the 7th inning, a line drive to center field. So congratulations to Max Muncy for getting that first major league hit and for being our 4th right choice. He had to have slept well last night. Got the call at about 1:30 a.m. that he was coming to the big league, slept for an hour, and then got on a very early flight. Was able to get here to the Coliseum in time for a day game. Simeon is retired. So we got a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's long reliever Sam Deduno, his 5th appearance. 7 innings total.
Now batting, the catcher.
And he's living the life of a long reliever as Wojciechowski goes 4 innings, 76 pitches. And the 4th inning got him where he gave up the 3 runs.
As in all of his other starts, too.
Yep, that's right. But Deduno, long reliever, he has not pitched since last Friday, the 17th of April. So, again, welcome to being a long reliever. So we'll see what Deduno can do. He got the first man he faced, and now it's Vogt followed by Butler here in the bottom of the 5th.
Sammy just coming at you with a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. Former Minnesota Twin.
Vogt had a good swing. Abad warming up down in the bullpen like he's coming in the game. I mean, he's firing it down there. So Pomeranz could possibly be done for the day. Two pitch, again foul back. Gentleman had a play on it, but lost his balance, missed the ball, and the ball bounced down into the lower level. But a good effort.
Yeah, I think the last thing you want right now is for Drew to come out next inning and kind of give up the lead, where he battled today. He's had to work hard and throw a lot of pitches, and he's right around 100. So the team's in the ball game. They got a chance to win, and Sam home happy.
In the air, left field, more action for Rasmus. And Rasmus has it. So 2 away, couple of fly balls to left field here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Butler. DeVito is the only Astros reliever to not pitch in this series, but he's in there today. And sometimes the long reliever becomes important in a game, and that certainly is the case here with the score 5-5.
They're always a factor. That's why Jesse was so valuable too in that bullpen role for the A's. He could do so many things, so versatile. Going to get an opportunity to start some games.
Butler to center, that's hit well. Marisnick racing back, it's over his head, it's off the wall. Butler hustling for second, and he has his first hit in the series, a booming double off the center field wall.
Kind of a slider that hung over the middle of the plate, and Billy, being the good hitter that he is, gets his foot down. Good extension, head on the ball, almost drives it out of center field there, and almost was able to get Drew on the hook for a W right there. Let's see if I can drive him in and get Drew the pitcher of record here.
Davis, a walk, a double, and 2 runs scored so far today. Curve lofted down the left field line, foul. Gonzalez gives chase. So the guard trying to get out of the way of the baseball.
I think it hit the
got
chair.
hit by the baseball.
I think it hit the chair.
Let's hope he's all right.
Nice job protecting himself. Oh, hit the. Did it hit the bat boy?
It hit something, either the chair or it almost looked like it hit the bat boy in the helmet.
Thank goodness they're all wearing helmets.
Not close with the curveball. 1-1.
Yeah, that was a new rule implemented a couple of years ago. The helmets for the third base coach, first base coach, and security personnel.
Probably a good idea. One and 1 the count. Altuve charges. He's got it. Side retired. So Butler is stranded. We're going to the 6th inning. It'll be Gonzalez, Castro, and Marisnick with the ball game tied at 5. Cardinals, April 4th of 1998. That hitter right there is A.J. Hinch. His first major league hit was with the Athletics. It was against David Cohn, and it was in the 6th inning. April 4th, 1998. So he ended up playing in 350 career games, 219 average. He was a really highly thought of college player out of Stanford. A.J. Hinch, teammate of Eric Chavez. So you tabbed him as a manager early.
Yeah, they were even talking about it back then too.
He was smarter than everybody else.
He was. Sometimes in this game, though, that's not always a good thing.
Overthink it a little bit.
See ball, hit ball.
Fernando Abad comes on in relief of Drew Pomeranz. And it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Oil Change Tune-Up and Small Experts. So Abad 0-1 with a 4.50 ERA in 7 games. Pitched in game 1 of the series. So for Drew Pomeranz, he's gone after 5 innings. And as Eric said, he just never really looked comfortable. His best inning was the 5th inning, his final 3 outs. He got a 3 up, 3 down inning.
And hopefully he can build off that. Give the team an opportunity to win here.
High in the air to center and hit well. Fold gets back, spins around, and then fights that sun a little bit, but he grabs it. So 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, that sun seems to be everywhere. Big factor in all these day games, and you can see off the reflection of his glasses, and it's all about angles, trying to find that ball right out of the sun. Stays with it.
And you see players do what Fold did a lot. They turn their body, and that can help you fight that sun a little bit as well.
That's that angle that I'm talking about.
There's Cook starting to get loose. Castro pops it up. It's going to be a long run for Gentry. Coming fast. Gentry got it. Sliding on both knees. He reached down and he made a heck of a play. You got to think about getting out of the way of the infielder here as well.
Well, Brett takes off right away. The infield was shifted. Marcus was behind second base. Gentry knew this was his ball the whole way. Unlike yesterday, the A's are fighting through the sun today and making the plays.
Little snow cone.
Good play. You can hear him. You can see him yelling, "I got it! I got it!" Letting Brett know to break off. You definitely don't want to collide with Brett. Nice play by Chris.
So Abad gets the first 2. Now he faces Marisnick, who has hit a 2-run homer in this game. He scored a couple times. So 2-0 the count. These pitchers have retired 6 in a row. Trying to get a little better hold on this game.
FJ.
3-0 pitch is in for a strike to Marisnick. The home run by Marisnick in the 4th inning was his 2nd of the year.
He's played very well for them.
I think they'd love to have somebody grab the center field job.
Yeah,
and they're giving him a shot.
Yeah, didn't they put Springer over there?
Springer
center for a little bit?
Yeah, but I think they'd like to have him in right.
Yeah. No,
traded Dexter Fowler in the offseason, so there's an opening there. Pitch, a changeup. Looks like a knuckleball toward Fold, and Sam gets over there, makes the catch. There was something weird going on with that baseball, but it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Ahmad.
And needed some big hits, timely hitting. Marisnick and Gaddis, 2-run home run there by Marisnick. Been out for the last couple days, and for the A's, Brent Lowry coming in with a big knock. And Gentry, who just got his first hit of the season the other night. So good signs, clutch hitting for both sides, and we got a tie ball game right now, 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So Reddick, Lowry, and Sogard here in the bottom of the 6th inning in San Diduno. The Rangers and the Angels are battling down in Anaheim, and that game is tied 2-2 heading to the 8th inning. It was Martinez and Santiago, the two starters, who both pitched well. Angels are going for the sweep. In fact, they were losing 2-0, but they just got a 2-run homer by Mike Trout in the bottom of the 7th inning to tie that game at 2. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. Angels playing better. They've won 3 in a row and 4 out of their last 5. Reddick bounce slowly. Altuve charges. Quick throw to first in time.
Altuve's got some smooth, quick hands. Nice play right there.
Now batting third baseman with 15.
So one away for Lowry.
Lowry.
Yeah, he's shown his hands the whole series, and had that one miscue the other night with Vogt running to first. I think the ball was a little wet, but Altuve's showing he can do it all this series.
First pitch to Lowry called a strike down around the knees. Lowry sac fly and a 2-run single, so he's 1 for 1 with 3 RBIs. So the Angels, after they finish up that series, of course they will be here in Oakland Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but they have the kind of road trip that you would love to have, Eric. They play in Oakland Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they play in San Francisco Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the Angels will be here in the Bay Area for a full week as Lowry gets called out.
It's a nice curveball right there by Diduno. Kind of locked him up. Started it kind of high. Dropped down into the zone. Very good pitch
Now
by
batting second baseman, number 28, Eric Sogard.
Looked like a strike from all of our angles.
Yeah, it's when you're on the road, it's always nice to unpack your bag knowing you're going to be in a place for 6 days.
Yeah, that does not happen very often.
No, that's nice.
So that'll be the Angels. They'll unpack their suitcase completely. First pitch to Sogard is a strike.
You could just see how so quickly the momentum can change in baseball. I mean, the A's were 1 game away from taking 3 or 4, and now, you know, they're on a nice little winning streak. So hopefully the A's can turn their fortunes around and get on a little hot streak.
Yeah, you're talking about the Angels, and you're right. The Rangers, on the other end, they're going to head home. Start a homestand with the Mariners, and then of course the A's get there next weekend. Sogard, shallow left center, and DeDuno has a 3-up, 3-down inning. So we are through 6 here at the Coliseum. It'll be the top of the order for the Astros. That means we're going to see Jose Altuve when we come back. It's a 5-5 game.
Saturday, May 16th for Superhero Fireworks Night when the A's take on the Chicago White Sox. Fans will dress up as their favorite superheroes, and music from iconic shows and movies will accompany the show. Fans can watch from the outfield grass, but as always, on-field capacity is limited. Get your tickets at athletics.com/fireworks.
So the 7th inning here at the Coliseum. 22,080 is the attendance this afternoon, and a bright, sunshiny Sunday afternoon, and a good ball game so far. It's tied at 5. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. And here's Ryan Cook, just called up and in the game. So Cook faces the top of the order: Altuve, Springer, and Lowry. So it's good to have Ryan Cook back in the big leagues. Cook, such an important part of the bullpen the last 3 years, and we all know what's happened to this team the last 3 years with all the success.
Bullpen's played a big part in it, that's for sure.
Cook in 2012 pitched in 71 games. In 2013 pitched in 71 games. Last year he pitched in 54 games. Charges, gets a nice hop, flips to first, 1 out. Man, that's a big guy to keep off the bases. Cook was on the disabled list last year. He was on it a couple times. Nishak starts to throw. And DeDuno has gone 2 good innings. Sinker from Cook is low.
See, Cook's got that good run to his fastball. Throwing mid-90s.
Springer had a good rip, fouls it straight back.
Pitchers go through slumps just like hitters, and Cook has been trying to mess around with his delivery a little bit, get some consistency, and he's come in here throwing strikes. It's a good sign.
But when things started going bad for Cook, it was a bit strange. He just kind of lost his control really with his fastball.
Yeah.
And may have been some mechanical issues. 2-1 pitch, hit to shallow center where Fold trots in. Fold, see angling to block that sun as best he can, and he's got it for the second out. Now watch him turn that body a little bit.
Yeah.
Number 8, Jed Lowry.
I think after yesterday's ball game, especially Sammy and Josh, you're going to see him really focus in and catching everything for the rest of the year.
So now Cook to face Lowry, old teammates.
Yeah, what an outfield out there with Gentry, Fold, and Reddick.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, above average at every position.
Good fastball there with that movement away from Lowry. Lowry reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Walked and scored in the third. Hit a fly ball to left field in the fourth.
Yeah, when you start struggling at this level, it's a hard place to try to work your way through it. The talent is just so good, but whatever Cook's been doing looks like he's found something and come in pumping strikes. It's a good sign.
So a good late movement. Watch this ball just run away late.
Yeah, it kind of starts right down the middle and ends up on the outside part of the plate, and you can tell Cook's got a real live arm.
And the red was something at 96 and sinking, and I don't know what you want to call it, but it was nasty. He gets the strikeout and a very nice inning for Ryan Cook. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum is coming up. It's a 5-5 ball game. Bottom of the 7th inning, Gentry in the box. First pitch to Gentry was a ball, facing Deduno, who's out there for inning number 3 for him. And AJ Hinch is thinking, skip me, maybe one more out as Tony Sipp is warming up in a lefty. But
yeah,
nothing else, they got to be thrilled with 2 good innings from Dinuno, and he's fallen behind 3-0 to Gentry.
You got to remember Sam was a starter too in Minnesota, so him having 5 days off of rest shouldn't be that big of a deal for him.
Gentry, a strikeout and an RBI single. There is Sip. And inside, and it's a leadoff walk. So a good start for the A's here in the 7th. Not only a leadoff walk, but a very fast runner. So you got fold up, you got a lot of speed at first, a lot of things you can do here if you're the A's.
A lot of options. And you can see Gonzalez is way in already at third. Let's see what Aldretti decides to do here. He's got a few options. He can lay down a bunt, sack bunt, hit and run, straight still. More than likely you're going to see a throw over the first here to give AJ a look at what the A's want to do. See if Sammy goes to squares what that throw to first will do, or attempt to do.
Gentry, as always, has a very good lead. Gentry always gets a good lead, and he has just that little lean going towards second base, and he really gives off the impression that he's taken off on every pitch. Terrific base stealer. Fold not showing bunt and takes it up and away.
Yeah, what you want to do. You don't. What he's doing is not giving you any tells. He's giving the impression that he is going every pitch, and the bench is definitely looking if he's leaning or moving, and Chris does a good job of keeping it consistent.
Fold takes a strike there, so now we may have action time.
Yeah, here's the action count.
Fold taking a long look down at Mike Gallego. Gonzalez, the third baseman, remains in on the grass about 3 steps. Just again 2-1, and at this point, Dinuno a little bit all over the place. Simeon is the on-deck hitter. After Simeon, it's Vogt. And this time, Fold bunts, drags it toward first, where Carter picks it up, and he'll tag Fold. So Fold will get a sacrifice. And now the go-ahead run is at second here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
I don't know if this was a sacrifice or Sammy trying to hit that hole, but just to hit it a little bit too hard at that speed, you want to angle that ball right towards Altuve with a chance of getting it past the pitcher and Chris and having a foot race to first, but nevertheless gets the runner in scoring position.
Simeon takes a first pitch strike. Marcus says a ground out, a strikeout, and a fly ball to left field. He'll take a flare for a base hit here. And that one is inside again. Tony Sipp is ready. He may be just waiting on Stephen Vogt to come to bat. Altuve doing his best to keep the speedy Gentry somewhat close to second base.
Chris has got a big lead at second. There he he goes.
Gentry runs, and there's a line drive, base hit left field. Gentry scores easily. Simeon comes through, and the A's lead 6-5.
Looked like something up. Little slider or cutter up, and Chris off with the pitch. And definitely was not a hit and run. Marcus putting the good barrel on the ball. But Gentry would have had that base stolen easy. And at that point, you just keep running third, and guy go waving him home. Nice piece of hitting by Marcus.
So Sim coming in when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and spot experts.
California is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
So the A's have taken the lead here in the bottom of the seventh on Simeon's RBI single. And now it's Stephen Vogt. He's going to face the left-hander Sip. Sip pitched in game one. He faced one hitter and walked him. Overall, a good start to the season for the Astros left-hander.
Fastball slider for Tony. Definitely going to give you one hitter to hit in an at-bat, but he likes that slider.
First pitch to Vogt. Swings and misses. You know, that Simeon base hit, Eric, think about from a hitter standpoint, you have a runner taking off right in your eyesight.
Right.
I mean, it's not like he's taking off from first where it's really out of the corner of your eye. A guy going second to third, I mean, how can you not be distracted?
I just think that goes to the concentration that Marcus had there. I mean, it had to have been. Chris had a big lead. He had the base stolen easy. And I
mean, it's not like he's not noticing the runner going. I mean,
you see him. You definitely see him. But it's just really good concentration by Marcus. He stayed on that slider too, and but
that's hard to get.
Yeah, very hard.
He deserves a lot of credit for the hit, but also, I mean, a lot of hitters won't swing at it just because they may be just slightly distracted by that runner.
And plus, too, as a hitter, you can tell what type of jump that the runner gets, and you know, with just one out, Chris would have had that base stolen easy, and Marcus, he would have had 2 strikes on him, but just put the ball in play, would have got the run in. And fortunately enough for the A's, Marcus got the base hit, and Chris scores, takes the lead.
So the pitch in the dirt, and Vogt went after it, so the count 0-2. Twins and the Mariners are tied 2-2 in the 7th inning. That's the rubber game of that series up at Safeco.
I'm sorry, I said Chris. I'm going to correct you.
There's the AL West scores. Mariners 7-10 on the year. Shift is on for Vogt, behind in the count 0-2.
There's a fastball up right there. The first 2 pitches were sliders. It's a fastball up for show, trying to get Vogt's eye level to change, and more than likely he's going to come back with a slider down.
Eck likes it. Eck finished his race a half inning ago, but he's hanging around. Altuve is going to get the out at second, and Lowry will hold on to it. So Vogt, a fielder's choice. Hard for Lowry to get any momentum to throw it to first because he's not playing his normal position. He was into that shift, so he's actually on the right side of second base. That's an odd pivot for a middle infield.
Yeah, and sometimes that's part of the problem with the shift, is it does put the infielders out of position for a routine double play ball just like that, like you were referring to. But Sip decided to go back to that slider to Vogt, and fortunately for the A's, they didn't turn the double play.
So 2 away for Butler. Butler takes a pitch. Close but called the ball. Looks like it's going to be Scribner in the 8th. For a strike. Well, the Angels just got a run in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they're still batting to take a 3-2 lead. So things are going the Angels' way right now. They're trying to win their 4th consecutive game. Butler tomahawks one foul. Deep but foul. So 1-2 the count to the A's designated hitter.
Sip decides to go back to that slider down again. Throwing 2 fastballs to Billy.
He did, and Butler swings and misses. Tag applied, side retired, but the A's get a run. Simeon with a RBI single, so the A's now lead 6-5 after 7.
Fleece Blanket, presented by Kelly Moore Paints, on Tuesday, May 12th, when the A's host the Boston Red Sox. 15,000 fans will walk away with his green and gold fleece blanket that pays homage to Sean Doolittle's signature pose. Get tickets now at athletics.com/tickets.
So the A's now with the lead, and it's the top of the 8th inning, and it's Evan Scribner. So Scribner, hey, maybe getting a shot at the 8th inning, huh?
Yeah.
A's with a 1-run lead. It's the top of the 8th, and Scribner in. I know Bob Melvin has been really impressed with Scribner going back to spring training. And he's off to a great start. This may be a shot for him to say, hey, maybe I'm the guy for the 8th inning at this point. See how he does today as he faces Evan Gattis.
Started him off with a fastball, follows him up with a little slider off the plate there. Very good pitch, well located.
Gattis is 1 for 3. He had a 2-run single. 3rd inning.
Bullpen kind of bouncing back here for the A's, having a good outing. See if they can finish this out going into the off day tomorrow.
Good fastball right on the corner, and Gattis could not pull the trigger. Carter to follow, and then Erasmus here in the top of the 8th inning.
I think Scribner's one of those pitchers that only throws in the low 90s, but as a hitter it looks like mid 90s.
Sogard scoops up the one hopper. Gattis is retired, 1 out.
Now batting, number 23.
So Abad had a 3-up, 3-down 6th inning. Cook a 3-up, 3-down 7th inning. The bullpen with a chance to have a good day. Carter grounds it into left field for a base hit. He went after the first pitch. So a 1-out single for Carter. Hey, we got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. Know it all with Sportsnet Central this evening at 6 p.m. And it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll have A's and highlights and clubhouse reaction. The Warriors, as they get set to move on to round 2 of the NBA playoffs. We'll have all the playoff highlights as well from around the NBA and the NHL. Kelly Johnson, Henry Wolford will host. So Grossman is the pinch runner. First pitch to Rasmus, swing and miss. So Grossman running for Carter. White Sox beat the Royals today twice. Remember, they finished up the rain postponed game where they played 9 innings on Friday. The game was tied, started to rain. It got rained out yesterday, and then the White Sox ended up winning that game from Friday, and then the regularly scheduled game they won 5-3. So it turns out the White Sox get 2 wins today. The Royals take on a couple of losses. 5-3 was the final in the regularly scheduled game. There's a base hit to right field, and that's going to allow Grossman to hustle around and go to third. So the Astros are in business. First and third, and 1 out.
Evan kind of left this heater kind of up right over the middle of the plate, and Rasmus putting a good swing on it. He's had a last couple of games been swinging the bat really well, getting some fastballs they hit, and Grossman coming in pinch running for Chris, and right away knows that ball's going to get down, goes first to third, and Astros have something going here in the 8th.
And the A's got action out in their bullpen. Marwin Gonzalez is the hitter. And warming up, Eric, is Tyler Clippard.
Yeah.
How about that? Get him ready. So here's Gonzalez. He's 1 for 3 today, but he had a huge hit on Friday.
Yeah, fastball middle away, stays on it. Comes up with a big knock late for the Houston Astros. Waving to his bench right there. Very excited, energetic, young Houston Astros team, and came up with a big hit for him right there. Keuchel loving it. I think that was the most energy he expended that night.
Well, he's got another chance here with the A's leading 6-5. Grossman at third, Rasmus at first, only 1 out.
I wonder with Flaherty struggles, that's the reason why he's not up. Normally he would have been a guy for that situation right now. And a lefty on deck.
That certainly changes things when you have a struggling pitcher. You don't want to lose confidence in him, but you got to be careful. And he's not going to pitch in this inning, certainly. To a pitch and a swing and a miss. Scribner went off speed on 2-0, and he got a swinging strike.
Yeah, definitely a hitter's count. Thinks the fastball's coming, kind of drops the slider on him. Just out in front, misses it, swings over the top of it. Pitching backwards right there for Evan.
So now it's 2-1. And that one lofted high and fouled on the right field line. Well fouled.
Yeah, this is the most important pitch of the at-bat here. If you go 3-2, Rasmus will be off onto the races, and the double play will be out of order. So this is the pitch that Evan wants to make right here.
Infield looking for a hard hit ground ball right at somebody. Castro is your on deck hitter. Scribner's ready. Curveball down the foul. Looks like well in off the plate, and Gonzalez way out in front of it.
Yeah, looks like he went back to the off speed curveball. In off the plate, kind of gets out and hooks it. It's a tough pitch to keep fair anyway. Let's see where Evan decides to go. Try to make his pitch right here.
And a curveball, and he just got a piece of that one. So that big Scribner curveball, he's not afraid to throw it.
Yeah, back-to-back curveballs here. This one they took a little bit more off, and Gonzalez has been out in front pretty much of every off-speed pitch this at bat. So whatever pitch he decides to go to, hopefully keeps it on the ground, gives an opportunity for the A's infield to turn two.
Strike three called. He got him with a fastball. So that is out number 2 here in the 8th inning, and that was a big one.
Really big one. fastball away after going back-to-back curveballs. A couple of those calls have gone against the A's today. This one goes for them. Marlin is not happy. Letting the umpire know about it.
So the A's are going to see if Clippard can get 4 outs and get a save as he's coming in.
Coming in to pitch for the Athletics, number 36, Tyler.
Is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
All right, a little pressure here in the top of the 8th. 2 on, 2 out. Clippard comes in to face Castro. And the A's clinging to a 1-run lead. So appearance number 8 for Clifford. He's got 1 save. And he is the 5th pitcher used this afternoon by the Athletics. First pitch to Castro. Almost like a wiffle ball changeup.
Bugs Bunny. Call it the Bugs Bunny changeup. You know, he was hitting that upper part of the zone. I think on Friday night, but he starts Castro off with a nice little changeup, and see if he tries to speed him up here with a fastball up out of the zone. Go back to that changeup later in the count.
0-1 pitch is hit high in the air. Reddick shading his eyes. He's got it. Side retired. So Clippard gets a huge out of Castro. And the Astros at first and third, 1 out, and they do not score. Game summary for today. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Good ball game. 5-8-0 for the Astros, 6-7-1 for the Athletics. And neither starter very sharp today, but both the bullpens have been pretty good. Hayes has been very good. Altuve, a couple more hits. He's got a 29-game hitting streak versus the Athletics. And Reddick, big RBI triple. Simeon had the hit the last inning that gave the A's the lead, an RBI single in the 7th inning. So now in the bottom of the 8th, A's wouldn't mind tacking on a little bit. Sip will face Davis, Reddick, and Laurie. Luis Valbuena comes in the game to play third. Marwin Gonzalez slides from third to first. Carter is now out of the game. Valbuena will hit in Carter's spot, and that is the 5th spot in the lineup. So Sip to face Davis. First pitch. He is a strike. Orioles beat the Red Sox today 18-7. 18-7. 20 hits for Baltimore. Had a couple 6-run innings. The Red Sox are scoring lots of runs, but their starting pitching has not been good early.
Questionable.
And that,
I think they're going to need to make a move to get a starter here.
Yeah, I mean, the guys they have are all decent pitchers, but they are getting knocked around big time early. The Red Sox still 10-9 to start the year. Check this out, folks, between the A's and the Astros. Records in games decided by 2 runs or less. The Astros are 5-2. The A's are 0-7. And that
will change.
I
promise you.
I mean,
I promise you.
The A's have always been so good in tight games because their bullpen's good, and they've always been able to score runs late. Kind of have a flair for the dramatic. So that's a big surprise. The A's are not winning close games. Those games we're keeping an eye on. The Angels leading the Rangers 3-2, and that game in the top of the ninth. So Houston Street trying to close it out for the Angels.
Houston's really had a nice career.
Yes, he has. He's not done yet either. Davis lays off the slider.
He's not your typical flame-throwing closer.
Not at all.
You know, he mixes in that fastball and the slider and hits his spots.
And he's never really been a flamethrower.
No.
Even when he came up with the A's as a very young guy, he was not throwing extraordinarily hard. Grounded right at Laurie, who's playing behind the bag at second. Ike Davis is out. The Mariners and the Twins still tied 2-2. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Now batting right fielder, number 22.
You can kind of see as Ike's running back. He's looking at Lowry going, "What are you doing there? You guys have been shading me up on the right side."
Are you a fan of the shift? I mean, and I ask you that. Not necessarily as a player, because you saw it. I'm sure you had hits taken away, but just from a general fan perspective, what do you think of the shift?
I don't mind it. I mean,
it's just strategy.
It is strategy, and it's up to the hitters to make the adjustment. You know, and that at bat, you could see Ike purposely trying to stay on those sliders and try to hit it the other way, and that's why he was kind of laughing at Lowry there.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's they can do whatever they want, right?
Yeah, and
I mean, there's obviously a reason why all these shifts are being put up.
Yeah,
it has to be. It's based on something.
Well, it's based on numbers.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Percentages, but the fact that hearing Rob Manfred maybe banning shifts is absolutely ridiculous. There's no way that can happen.
Reddick fouls that one straight back.
I mean, if that's the case, you're just opening yourself up for a lot of things you don't want to. And if the team decides they want to put all their players on one side of the field, go ahead and let them.
Sure. It's not like you're putting more defenders out there.
No, but have you ever seen the shifts that they had on Ted Williams a few times?
Sure.
My goodness.
Nobody thought much of it then.
No.
Reddick hits it hard to Altuve, a couple steps to his right. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Make sure you join us Tuesday when the Angels come to town. How about this pitching matchup? Sonny Gray and Jared Weaver. Coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. Complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So that is Tuesday night, A's Angels. Join us.
You got Sonny, the power pitcher, and Weaver kind of losing a little bit on his fastball, but still knows how to pitch. His last outing against the A's did pretty good.
First pitch to Laurie. And he drives one to right field, hit well. Springer hustling back. Springer, and he caught it. Sensational play by George Springer in right field. And I tell you what, if he doesn't catch that and the ball's rolling around, Laurie may have a chance to go all the way around.
Could have had a Little League home run. You're right.
9th inning coming up. All right, Clippard in to try to save it. And the first pitch is hit into center field for a base hit. So Clippard got the final out in the 8th. He's back out there for the 9th, and he's going to have to work for this one as Marisnik, the first pitch, singles to center field.
Yeah, it looks like a hanging breaking ball, and Jake's been swinging the bat pretty good all year and didn't miss that pitch right there.
So that is hit number 9 for the Astros. The A's have 7 hits, and now it's Altuve, and after Altuve, it's Springer. So again, pressure time in the late innings. He's trying to Hang on. Runner goes, and the ball's hit toward Laurie. He's going to throw to second. Not in time, and everybody's safe. Laurie was playing in, runner going, and he tried to get the out at second base, and the A's didn't get anybody.
The Astros decide to go with the hit and run here. Altuve puts the barrel on it, hits it hard. I don't know if Marcus wasn't expecting it. Heads up play by Laurie. Don't know if he would have got him. But nonetheless, if Marcus is able to field that ball, he'd still be able to get that out at first, as hard as the ball was hit.
Well, so that last replay showed where, like, even if the ball was caught, I think the runner may have been safe.
Yeah, but they still would have had enough time to get him at first.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That's true.
You know, and these are the type of plays too that when you're going good, it works. But right now the A's are just struggling to get outs and make the plays.
So 2 on, nobody out. Here's Springer, who bunts, but bunts late, almost like he was bunting for a base hit. So Springer with lots of power, but he's being asked to bunt here.
Yeah, and I love seeing that. One of their better hitters, and he's given up himself to try to put his team in position to win. Expect the Astros to do something because they've just been aggressive the whole series.
So Gregerson and Qualls, one if the Astros tie, and the other guy, Gregerson, if the Astros were to take the lead. Runners go, throw to third is not in time. A double steal to put runners at second and third. So the A's will take a quick look at it. Mike Eldreddy has to make a decision. A little contact at third.
Yeah, he gets in there just ahead of the tag, and the Astros again electing to be very aggressive.
Watch the left hand. Does it come off the bag? That could be an issue, but it looks like it's tough to tell if that left hand slid off the back of the bag. And the A's are going to have to take a look at it.
Yeah, might as well. Why not? You know, as a third baseman for Brett, that's one of the toughest plays. You got a guy at second who can run, and Springer goes down to bunt. The throw just a little up the line a little bit. Brett trying to stay with it, put the tag down, and that looks a little bit closer than I thought it was. I still think it's going to be called safe, but Astros being very aggressive.
See, his hand's in the bag there.
Yeah,
but it is close, but I think he was probably safe. And they're going to call him safe. So a double steal. How about that, Xavi? You've been talking about Astros being aggressive all weekend, and that's about as aggressive as you can get at this point of the game.
If he's thrown out right there, they could completely run themselves out of the inning, but they're not thinking about that. They're just going. And it's working for them, so they're going to continue to do it.
So great speed on the bases with Marisnik and Altuve. Infield in. 1-1 is the count. And Springer out in front, rolls it foul. So now 1-2. On deck, Jed Lowry. After Lowry, it would be Gaddis.
Looks like we've got a bird attack going on.
Yeah, they're sniffing the end of the game. One-two pitch way high. struggling, nothing's easy.
No.
And that's certainly the case today. We're down 5-2. They came back to tie it. 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. Springer strikes out for the third time.
Yeah, it looks like a high fastball, and you can see George. He swings extra hard, but it's his head. His head that kind of turns and ends up in left field. That, you know, probably regrets swinging through that. All he had to do was put the ball in play, and something good would have happened. So it gives the opportunity for Clipper to get out of this inning, and they don't have to pitch. Yeah, they're going to walk him.
So they'll walk Lowry and pitch to Gaddis with the bases loaded.
This is definitely the right move. It didn't pay off for them last time. They kind of unintentionally pitched around Lowry, and Gaddis had the big hit, but I still think this is the matchup that the A's feel more comfortable with.
Well, there's the walk. And Lowry will head to first.
Here's today's Honda Player of the Game. Craig Gentry coming up with a big hit late there. Got a big run late too, still in third. Simeon puts a good swing on it, and Gentry scores easily. Also made a nice diving play in the sun.
So here's Gaddis, who is 1 for 4 with a 2-run single. First pitch, big rip, fouls it back. Gaddis with a home run in his career off Clipper. Valbuena is the on-deck hitter. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2, a high heater.
Yeah, kind of getting Gaddis a little over aggressive. That ball wasn't even close. Maybe a little over anxious trying to get the run in. Expect Clipper to stay up there again. Gaddis is a really good low ball hitter. Maybe even a little higher.
And he went up there, so probably a pretty good idea on 0-2. See if Gaddis would chase. He did not.
See, he might even go back to that same pitch and then come back to that good Bugs Bunny changeup he's got. So let's see what he decides to do.
Fouled straight back, and he stayed up there with the fastball, and Gaddis had a very good rip at it and fouled it straight back.
Yeah, now he's changed his eye level twice. He's got 2 high heaters up there and 2 balls that he swung at. So you got him looking up there now. You got him set up for that changeup down if you want. See if he decides to do that.
One-two pitch, center field, Fuld hustling back, and it's over his head. 1 run scores, 2 runs score, and they're going to hold up Lowry, and it's a 2-run double for Gaddis. And the Astros have taken the lead 7-6.
Yeah, maybe one too many times right there. He had him set up to go to that changeup down. He had changed his eye level, got him swinging at 2 balls up, and he went back there for a 3rd pitch. Even though that pitch was a ball, you give big league hitters the same look, they're gonna eventually get to it. So unfortunately, he put the barrel on it, and Sammy kind of broke in, and I don't think anybody expected that ball to be hit as hard as it was and got over Sammy's head.
I don't know if anybody expected him to swing at that pitch, let alone hit it over the center fielder's head. And here's Valbuena. I mean, the catcher vote was actually
Yeah, standing
up to try to catch the pitch, and Gaddis hit it over the center fielder's head.
Yeah.
So Gaddis with 4 RBIs, and now the Astros have a chance for more. Valbuena, the hitter. Swing and a miss. Watch the catcher Stephen Vogt as he prepares to catch this pitch.
Yeah, he got it exactly where he wanted to. That pitch is a foot above the zone, and like I said, 3 times in a row, Gaddis his eye level was up there already, and all he had to do was go up there and get it, even though it was a ball.
Infield in, and that one is high. So first at bat for Valbuena, Lowry at third, Gaddis at second. It was a changeup that floated on the inside part of the plate. A's will have Sogard, Gentry, and Fold in the bottom of the 9th.
It's very important right here for Tyler. Try to keep this a 1-run ball game. Give the A's an opportunity to come back.
Swing and a miss. He got him with that changeup. So Valbuena strikes out. 2 outs, and here's Kobe Rasmus.
Yeah, decides to go back to that changeup. Dives out of the plate, probably another ball. Valbuena expanding the zone right there.
Got to get this guy.
Well, you could be careful with him.
Play with the first base a little bit. On an open bag, Marwin Gonzalez is the on-deck hitter. Swing and a miss. And there's that changeup again. 79 miles an hour just about every time.
Yeah, and you can see them expanding the zone a little bit here. You don't really have to give them anything to hit. And it's not like Clippard did to Gaddis either. He got the pitch where he wanted it, and Gaddis just went up there and got it.
That time Rasmus laid off that pitch. The Seagulls are all over the place, and what it's doing is down on the field, the shadows of the Seagulls are all over the place, which makes for a very strange scene, to be honest with you. That guy's not quite ready to fly. He would rather just stay where he's at, watch the ball game. I don't know what's more creepy, them flying right by our booth or the shadows of them down on the field. So 2-1 the count. And now it's 3-1.
Now, sometimes you can see by this camera from center field that you can see the grip that he has in there, and sometimes a runner from second can see the grip too and maybe relay those signs. I'm not saying that that's going on now, but it does happen. You can see he's got that changeup grip right there,
and he keeps throwing it, and now it's 3-2. Montero back up. Montero was up 4 innings ago. Right there, he threw it again, and Rasmus took it. So the Astros scored twice to take the lead. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Astros 7, Athletics 6. So the A's give up 2 in the top of the 9th. They give up the lead, and now they'll have to come back against Gregerson. It'll be Sogard, Gentry, and Fold. That's Max Muncy right behind Sogard. So it looks like Muncy is going to hit for Gentry. And we saw it on Friday night, Eric. It was the left-handed hitters that did the damage against Gregerson, and it helped them come back and tie the game. So the A's are thinking, let's get as many left-handed hitters as we can. But in this case right now, Muncy is the only extra left-handed hitter they have on the bench.
Right, and don't be surprised either if you see Sogard get on base here that Gentry comes back out and lays down a bunt to get him to second. So
see what the situation is, but Gentry spot is second, and Muncy's out for him, and then it would be Fold after Fold, Simeon. So it is possible the A's could send up 3 consecutive left-handed hitters against Gregerson. His first pitch is a strike. Like the other night when he got the blown save, he retired all the right-handed hitters he faced. He didn't retire any of the left-handed hitters he faced. Altuve scoops it up, and that's the first out.
Yeah, so this is last inning. They walked the bases loaded and get to Gaddis. They went to the changeup down right there. Rushed him up with a heater out of the zone. Comes back with another heater out of the zone. One more heater that he just missed, so his eyesight's completely up there. And this one was even higher than the previous pitch, and he gets his barrel on it, hits it for a double. Maybe one too many fastballs up out of the zone. But you really can't fault him. I mean, that pitch was a ball.
It was nowhere close to being a strike.
I'm sure he's shaking his head too, like, how did he hit that pitch? Not only did he hit it, he put the barrel on it.
So here is Muncy hitting, and he drives one toward left center field, but Rasmus got a good jump. He gets over there. So 2 outs. So good swing. He hit it pretty hard, but right in the glove of Rasmus. So now Fold has to do what he can to get on base. Fold is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice. Gregerson's first pitch just a bit outside. Simeon would be next if Fold can get aboard. To Altuve, big hop. And the A's go very quietly in the bottom of the 9th inning as Gregerson was 3 up, 3 down. And this one hurts a little bit, folks, as the A's are swept by the Astros today. They give up 2 in the top of the 9th. And the Astros come back and they win the ball game. And the Astros have now won 7 out of their last 8. The A's have lost 4 in a row and 5 out of their last 6. So Astros sweep the A's. Final score this afternoon, 7-6. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's post game live with Brody Brazil and Vic Roberts starts right now.